The idea that our universe might be a computer simulation hypothesis, has fascinated philosophers and scientists for decades. One of the most prominent proponents of this hypothesis is philosopher Nick Bostrom, who argues that if an advanced civilization has the power to create complex simulations, then we might be living in a simulated reality rather than a separate physical universe. According to this approach, if the universe is actually a program running on a supercomputer beyond human comprehension, then systematic errors or glitches, programming errors, could occur. These errors could manifest themselves in a variety of ways, such as the appearance of three identical galaxies, something that would be impossible in nature. However, such unusual astronomical phenomena can be explained by traditional physical theories. For example, gravitational lensing can create repeated images of the same galaxy, or the laws of galaxy formation in the universe can lead to the existence of strikingly similar structures. Simulation hypothesis and programming error. Under the endless night sky, where galaxies swirl in the deep darkness of the universe, a quiet question arises. Does everything we know really exist? Or is it just an elaborate illusion of a supercomputer operating outside of consciousness? The hypothesis that the universe is just a simulation has haunted the minds of philosophers and scientists for decades. And if it is true, then the appearance of three identical galaxies may not be a random miracle, but the trace of a programming error, a crack in the veil covering reality. Imagine an invisible programmer who built the universe with infinite lines of code, with the laws of physics encoded as unbreakable laws. But even the most complex systems can make mistakes. If three perfectly matching galaxies appear in the sky, it may not be a strange coincidence, but the result of a data copying error. Just as a data file in a video game is accidentally duplicated, a galaxy may have been duplicated multiple times in the source code of the simulated universe. The three identical galaxies may not be three separate entities, but a single entity mirrored three times by a systematic error that the simulation's creator did not expect. But mistakes don't stop at data copying. In programming, there is a phenomenon called a buffer overflow, when a program processes so much information that the data overflows beyond its control, causing unforeseen effects. If the universe is indeed a simulation, what happens when its memory overflows? The three identical galaxies could simply be the result of a display error, where information about a galaxy was accidentally overwritten in three different locations in space. Their images could simply be unconscious copies stored at different coordinates that the system doesn't recognize. A small error in the way the galaxy data is displayed could cause the universe to repeat itself, like a piece of music stuttering in an endless loop. Or perhaps it's not a bug, but an optimization of the system. In video games, to save processing resources, models are often reused over and over again. The same row of trees, the same building, the same object can appear over and over again, creating a rich but performance-saving world. If the universe were a simulation, would its creators have applied the same principle? The three identical galaxies could simply be three copies of the same galaxy model, placed in different locations to save computing power. This means that, instead of generating countless unique galaxies, the system could simply use one galaxy model and replicate it. If we could find star clusters, planets, and even supernovae appearing in exactly the same place in all three galaxies, this could be a sign that the universe is not an independent reality, but rather part of an optimized simulation. And there is another possibility, an idea from the world of computer graphics, rendering errors. In graphics software, sometimes an object can be rendered multiple times due to algorithmic errors. If the universe is truly a simulation, are we seeing a rendering error on a macroscopic level? It is possible that the three galaxies do not actually exist as three separate entities, but are merely three images superimposed on each other due to a glitch in the way the universe displays data. Perhaps, when we look through our telescopes, we are not actually seeing three galaxies, but rather witnessing an instability in the fundamental fabric of reality. While the simulation hypothesis is fascinating, it has yet to be empirically proven. However, if the three galaxies not only match in shape, but also have the same stellar structure, the same cosmic history, and even the same planets down to the smallest detail, then we are faced with a more frightening question. Is this universe real? If the signs of a programming error are becoming increasingly apparent, are we simply entities in a virtual world? If the signs of a programming error are becoming increasingly apparent, are we simply entities in a virtual world, trapped in a program we cannot even fathom? And if so, who or what wrote the code that created this entire reality? Astrophysical explanation: natural mechanisms that created three identical galaxies. Under the deep skies, where light from distant galaxies travels for billions of years before reaching human telescopes, there are deep physical mechanisms that can explain the appearance of three identical galaxies without the need for simulation hypotheses. Gravitational phenomena, large-scale cosmic structures, and unconventional cosmological models can all create repeating galaxy images, revealing part of the mysterious laws that govern the vast universe. Gravitational illusions. When gravity bends light, one of the most plausible explanations comes from the gravitational lensing effect, a miraculous phenomenon predicted by Einstein's general theory of relativity. When light from a distant galaxy passes through an extremely massive object, such as a giant galaxy cluster or a supermassive black hole, the gravity of the object can bend the light path, causing the image of the galaxy to become duplicated. This is similar to light passing through a curved lens, distorting and splitting the image of an object into multiple duplicates. A prominent example of this effect is the Einstein cross, where light from a background galaxy is bent by an intermediate galaxy, creating four identical images of the same galaxy. If the three galaxies we observe are actually just three versions of a single galaxy, created by the warping of space-time, then this is a plausible explanation that does not require the hypothesis that the universe is a simulation. Large-scale structure of the universe. When galaxies form in natural patterns, the universe is not a random void, but an orderly system where galaxies are organized in predictable patterns. One of the most striking structures of the universe is the cosmic web, a giant network of dark matter, intergalactic gas and galaxies, stretching for billions of light years. In this web, galaxies are not scattered, but are concentrated in long filaments that connect to each other, creating dense regions and vast voids. If three galaxies were formed in the same cosmic web under similar conditions, they could develop in almost identical ways without any artificial intervention. In addition, the evolution of galaxies also follows general rules. If three galaxies have the same physical environment, density of matter, and history of galactic collisions, they can evolve along very similar paths, making them three near-perfect copies of each other. However, while galaxies can be similar, the possibility of three galaxies being exactly the same in every detail is still a rare occurrence, unless there is a special mechanism that leads to it. Repeating cycles or multiple connected universes, when space and time mirror themselves. In addition to the known phenomena, Some non-traditional cosmological models can also provide explanations for the repeating galaxies. One of them is the multiple connected universe hypothesis. If the universe has a special geometric structure, such as a torus or some other higher dimensional geometry, then light can follow repeating paths. This means that when we look out into the universe, we may actually be seeing different images of the same galaxy from different angles, rather than three separate galaxies. In addition, some theories of the cyclic universe suggest that the universe may go through multiple cycles of expansion and contraction. If the physical conditions in each cycle repeat in a certain order, then similar galaxies could form in different cycles, creating identical galaxies throughout cosmic time. Observing three identical galaxies may raise questions about the nature of reality, but it does not mean that our universe is a simulation. Physical phenomena such as gravitational lensing, cosmic web structure, and unconventional space-time patterns can all provide plausible explanations without the assumption that the universe is a giant computer program. Still, exploring these mysterious galaxies is a promising scientific journey that will bring us closer to understanding the laws that govern the universe.